Excuse me.
Oh, this is missions. Hey, sorry. What's it? Keith said he can only make it at 7, but it's too late, right? Keith said he can only make it at 7, but it's too late, right? Or is it okay? All right. What the fuck? Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, finally.
Where is Tomo?
He said he was here as well.
He's not here.
This is taking ages, man.
This is a fucking mission. Oh my god. I don't think he accepted it.
I think you put maybe on the invite. It says maybe.
Are you serious? Oh my god. He's the one who suggested Google Hangouts.
No, you are, you twat.
No, I know, but he mentioned it and I was like, yeah, I know Google Hangouts.
He has to join this broadcast, right?
Yeah. And why the fuck is it broadcasting live? What kind of ridiculousness is that?
I don't know. I don't know how to make it private. The
Oh,
whole world can see us, innit?
Yeah. Try to look at our shit.
Can you see me, though?
Yeah, I can see you're frozen in some stupid stance.
No. I'm just staying in this pose.
I screenshot it for you. I don't know how to send it here. Yeah, it's not freezing, and it only freezes in gay stances, isn't it?
It's not frozen. I'm just pausing in that pose for ages.
Okay. Do you think he's actually going to come in here?
He's supposed to. What? When you came in, did you have to join the call, is it?
Yeah, I just pressed call.
You press join, is it?
I did it I'm on my phone, so I did it from the app, and I just called.
What a pose.
Maybe he's shy because it's live, isn't it? Maybe he's like, we cannot share industry secrets.
Oh, what is going on, man? Jesus. It's taken almost an hour to do this. Yeah, how busy I am. It's driving me crazy, man.
I don't know why Skype's not working anyway.
What's wrong with yours? It keeps flipping on and off.
My one.
Yeah,
Well, like offline, online, or is it away online?
it keeps moving my picture to the big screen, then back to the small one and back and forth.
Oh, it's because when I speak, it goes on.
What the fuck? Thomas says he's looking at me. It's well scary. I can't see
Oh,
him.
is it?
Where is he?
Oh, maybe he joined as a spectator because fuck. I told you, random people can watch us.
What the fuck?
Shit, it's a little confusing. He needs to press like join call or something. I opened the app and then like I downloaded the iPhone app and then I just pressed call.
Can't you get it on your laptop?
No, the devs make too much noise downstairs.
So what? Just random people online are just staring at me.
Yeah.
Nice.
You look more happy about it. Google Hangouts is actually pretty good. Like the connection's usually better than Skype.
It is. I mean, I've done it before with some groups. Hey, Tomo. No.
Maybe.
Like, how can you see who's in the call?
Can't you see? Oh, he's there. He's here.
Oh. There he is.
Should be online now.
Hey, can you hear me?
Finally, Jesus.
Yes.
There he is.
Sorry about that, man. I was just looking at your YouTube. I think you broadcasted it, your video. So I was actually looking at you talking to Chris, but I was speaking to you guys. But you couldn't hear me.
Oh, you were talking to a video.
I was looking at the broadcasting TV of you and Chris for a while, and I keep talking to you guys.
Just talking to the screen.
That's pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. Thanks for setting up, Daisuke. And hey, nice to meet you, Chris.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, doing good. All right. Well, my wife is waiting for me to have dinner, so I have a limited time. But let's get going.
Okay, cool. Do you want me to just start off and I'll just give you kind of like an overview of all the different type of stuff we worked on?
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
And like, okay, so I'll start off. Basically, we specialize. We work a lot with startups, but we tend to try to work with startups who've already done the groundwork, so they kind of know what they're looking for. Because usually they might have something already, but it's usually rubbish, and then we build something either from scratch or build on top of it to make it more scalable, more stable. And a lot of people ask Jason. Jason helps a lot on the technical side when they are raising massive funding. Just to give you an example, one of the projects is worth about, I think their last round, it's about 100 million, and the product isn't even launched yet. That product is like a sort of spread betting site, but it's with football players. And the clever thing that he does a lot of like these clever algorithms. So what that does, it crawls the net and pulls certain information on players. So then we also have like a buzz feed. So then it kind of tells them, gives them higher rankings and stuff. But it's on the basis really of how much people buy into the player, and then their stocks go higher and people can buy and sell. And they've just got their gambling license, so that should be launching pretty soon. And we're working a lot with social networks as well. And one of the big ones now is again, it's like basically getting paid for posting, viewing, voting. They've got like a relevance algorithm in there as well. So then you've got your rabbit hole, which tells you like what's best, what post is most recommended to you. He's worked on like email clients. So we did a sort of Gmail, I think it was a Gmail app, so it kind of tells you when to call your client, potential clients, because it measures all these different factors in there. so it knows the best time they're on there and stuff like that. We've done what else? Right now. There's also like a massive project. I'm not really involved, but it's like a security platform. But what they've done is they've already done their last project. They sold for like millions, whatever, and now they're trying to do something. So it creates this sort of visual GUI, which analyzes how their security is and then lets them know what they need to improve. But that's like a fairly massive project as well. So like most of the stuff we do is really big, but we do try to help some startups if we feel that it's worth time investing into it. So like I mentioned to Taisuke, sort of like for an MVP for this, I mean this project you want to do is probably going to be fairly big. He doesn't think it's going to be exactly hard, but obviously just time consuming compared to the rest. As in, it's nothing like groundbreaking because it's already done. We're not reinventing the wheel, but it's the time to do it. And I think a healthy budget for this is sort of like 20 to 50 to kind of get like a strong MVP, which you can take to, I guess, to raise your first round of funding, I guess, if that's your plan to do it.
Cool. All right. So how do you want to start, Taisuke?
I think so. I've explained the kind of synth stuff we want to do, and then I guess if we are looking to create an MVP, then it should kind of be you explaining to Chris how you imagine the whole platform to be working, and then get a few references, and then Chris will basically do some research on it and chat with his developers, and then we can get a rough idea of like timeline and pricing, and then we can pretty much discuss from there, I think.
So Chris, you're doing the apps. What you guys do is just creating the native apps. Right?
Yeah. So right now, a lot of our clients, there's a lot of apps they want to do, but actually a big part of what we do is the whole backend systems. That's where I told you that a lot of the time, like these companies, they've done the groundwork, they've got the momentum, but they can't scale it. It's never stable. Every time they're trying to build it further, it's just messing up. So the thing we do is that we actually our expertise is in Node.js, Angular, Backbone, and these are all the type and different methods. Jason knows more details. I'll get him to explain later. But it's a much stronger system. So these are the type of systems people have in investment banking, anything with loads of like analytics or whatever, because it's more stable, it's faster. You can do it so when you're doing further features, it's not messing anything up. It's just a much stronger system to build on when you're in that.
Do you so you do backend systems? So you do create the systems for the websites and also the cloud systems and things like that. That's completely doable, right?
Yeah. So that's a lot what they do.
Okay.
Sorry, someone was just distracting me. Sorry, just 1 second. I think they're not in. Just
Oh,
you
shit.
can drop it here.
That's fucking funny.
What the hell?
Hey, Chris. Concentrate on the discussion, please.
Yep, I'm back now. What the hell?
Hey, do you see the dog
Yes,
prop?
I see it now. I see a cat.
That's pretty cool.
It'd be well funny if anyone's actually watching us having serious chats with cat and dog face.
Yeah, we're in the serious chat, man.
It's like Japanese perverts, man.
That's exactly who I am, so that's all right.
But, okay, so what are we talking about? We're just talking about
just Daisuke, I mean, the things that I wanted to do with the synth, right? It's not the mobile app, right? So I wanted to create the
Sorry, I don't know
So,
how to take the. I can't take the cat off your face, man.
I don't know how to I don't know how to terminate this now, actually. Seriously, how do you terminate this?
I don't know, man.
How did you terminate this, man?
Okay, sorry. But we wanted to develop for the mobile, right?
Yeah. Oh shit. There we
It's
go.
the-
Yeah. I mean, no, yeah, for the mobile.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So the idea is, Chris. So
Yeah.
we wanted to. The system is called panel management system, and panel means the bunch of databases of the respondent who will take the surveys. So we first need to collect those databases of users, and we are going to send invitations in the mobile phone. So we collect the mobile phone number, or it could be a app. Let the respondents download the app. This is something I have to figure it out. But most likely, we collect the mobile phone number, and then we collect those informations about this person is from male and 55 years old who graduated this university, blah blah blah. We get those profile information, and then in the system we select those people from a different demographic, right? So those people who is in Japan, who is 20 to 25 years old, male, to run the surveys about men's fashion product, for example. And then we send them the survey invitations and let the respondents take the surveys in mobile platform. So this is the kind of the idea. So there's another thing. The survey has to be mobile friendly, Taisuke. So we will probably have to create the survey like a survey monkey that you can create the surveys in the website. And then I think Survey Monkey, the survey is for PC, right? To run the online surveys in PC. But we have to do it. The survey is going to run in the mobile friendly, right? Smartphone friendly.
Yeah, it's Survey Monkey is just sort of responsive on your phone. I've used the coffee zone.
Yeah. So that's something like that. Then I can give you kind of information. But this is something you can do as well, like something like Survey Monkey.
Yep.
Okay. And then do you do SDK as well? SDK for the mobile apps.
So basically, you wanna I mentioned this before. You wanna basically maybe potentially in the future have it so other people can use your system, right?
That's right. Yeah, using SDK or something.
Yeah. So it's just the way you build it. I wouldn't say to have that now, but it's good for us to know that's your plan in the future. So then when we build it, we keep that in mind. So then we're always building forward instead of having to go back and go forward.
But you guys can build it, right?
Yeah. It's not hard.
Okay.
I'd say it's not hard.
Yeah. The thing is, if you build the native mobile app, right, Taisuke, for the survey, for users to take survey, then we have to spend a lot of money on advertising this, apps for users to install, right? Yeah. But if you just create SDKs and we just, let those, app developers who made the apps already and have tons of users already, and let them add our SDKs. So we will push the surveys into their mobile phone.
Yeah. So that's just a matter of that's just going to be from the backend platform, right? Those app developers, we don't have to go and sell them the idea. They can just go in and log into our platform, have a dashboard, and then create those surveys or accept those surveys, right?
So actually, it's not really an SDK they'll be using. It's just API. So they're just making calls to your backend, and then it's going wherever it needs to go. And like Tasha said, yeah, they'll just have a dashboard that they log into to see their data.
They can probably have like lots of surveys, and they can choose which category of surveys they want in their app, right? And then they will tie it up, and then it will just automatically send surveys based on that category, right?
Yeah, I mean the way it's Survey Monkey, though, it depends how you want to set it up. You could do it however. They'll just create the survey on the dashboard, and then it will just send out. So I think the way SurveyMonkey, I believe, that you're on the website or the dashboard, whatever you want to call it, you create your survey. When you're happy, you just send it out. People see an email, click the link, and then it just opens up. It'll be a website or something, if not an app, and then it's just responsive. They do the survey, it finishes. That information goes back to the back end, and then they see whatever they want to see, whether you want to see the overall stats or specific stats per person. But it's usually overall stats, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. But Tomo, like, are you thinking the main audience for this is app developers?
I mean, the thing is, I'm thinking a different way now. I mean, SurveyMonkey, actually SurveyMonkey has is going to have a contract with Cint.
Yeah.
And so what they do is pretty cool. So SurveyMonkey is let the people to create the survey, right?
Yeah.
And then from SurveyMonkey you create the survey, and you can actually send those surveys to people in Cint platform.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
So that's B2B, right? Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what they are doing right now. And then if you're going to do that business models into the mobile platform, then and then what I'm looking for is, if you're going to have, because I'm looking for around 10,000 users per country, right? But if you're going to have that, if you're going to recruit those 10,000 users, right, by ourselves from scratch, then we will have to spend a lot of money for advertising, right, to attract people to know about our services and apps. So what I'm thinking is, instead of doing that, we give them API or even SDK. Actually, Polefish is doing SDK instead of API.
Polefish is SDK because they actually integrate it with the app.
Yeah, that's right. So I was thinking something like that, right? So those game app developers that they have, thousands of users, and then they are not yet monetizing their users. Then we let them implement the SDK so that we push the service to their users within their apps, right? And then they take the service and incentivize the users, but they incentivize users through the game application, the game developers. So we pay money to the game developers for $5 per complete, for example, and then $2 goes to their user, then they get their $3 margin, and then we get $10 from the clients, for example, then we get $5 in our pocket. Right. So no matter how we are going to get the users, it's better we are going to spend monies and build from scratch, or we just partnership with those app developers who already have tons of users. Right. So I think it's easier. You just create the SDKs and let the app developers implement the system so that they can monetize themselves. There's no cost involved, right?
Okay, so a few things. So you still would need to advertise to app developers anyway. And the second thing is, you also have to think, because doing it so you're not creating a live, like if you create an API with certain things that's open for developers, that will there's cost per development there. And if you want to create an SDK, there's cost per development there. So I guess when we're taking a closer look at it, that's when I guess you can decide what makes more sense. But if the reason why a lot of things work, they actually create their services. They usually have open APIs because it's good for them as well. So maybe you could start with that when you come to it, and then if that's something you can see people frequently using, you can then do an SDK. Like I think I don't know if you know User Voice. It's not a survey thing, but it's like Zendesk. And the way they started was they just had a website, and then they made an API so they can integrate better with that in apps. And then when they realized that, okay, that's their market, then they created an SDK so then they could customize that to look really nice in the apps. So it's kind of like, I guess you would need to just figure it out, but I don't think it's, you shouldn't, kind of decide on that right now, maybe.
Okay. Well, what's easier in terms of the app developer's point of view, API or SDK? Which one's
API.
API is easier, right?
Yeah, so if you create something where the API is open, all that's basically doing is just opening a bridge they can use.
Mm-hmm.
But then and then we just create, they would have to sign up and then just have their own dashboard, I guess.
Mm. Okay. Cool.
Because with the SDKs, you need to constantly update them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not mine.
So we need to, or the developers have to. So if you're going to do the API, what developers have to do? They implement APIs and they have to design the whole dashboard by themselves?
Yeah, so we have to create the whole dashboard. Okay, so let me think, a good example. All right, you know Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole backend communicates to like your website or to like your mobile, right? To see, so because all APIs are doing is this
No, I don't think so.
communicating, like saying do this, do that, do this, and
Yeah, I'm
you
not
know
sure.
sometimes you have
I'm not sure which car he drives. Yeah.
in apps you can log in with Facebook, so then that one API is specific for only logging in with Facebook. So that's basically what we're creating. So we just have to create these separate APIs that allow open access to your system, which they can integrate with. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And if you're going to do it in mobile, for example, is it possible? So it's related, but it's a kind of different idea, Chris. But is it possible for those? So if we kind of planted something, the software or app, or it doesn't matter anything. If you just plant it into one smartphone, for example, and then we can keep track of the user's activity by which website they went to and what kind of search engine, search text that they typed to get the information, or what internet commercial, which e-commerce that they use, or which app they used, and which advertising they have exposed, or which in YouTube, for example, if you're watching YouTube, which advertising they have exposed, something like that. Is it possible to keep track of the apps?
But that's a lot of privacy issues, right?
Yeah. For something like that.
I mean, we will get the opt-in from the users, for example. So we're not going to just secretly get those informations, but we let them install, when they install this software's application, for example, we get the opt-in from users that we collect those informations, and then there's a benefit for you, for example. So
they would have to do it through your app. So say, for instance, your app would need to have its own browser. And then you can take that information. So like I think.
Yeah, but nobody's going to use that, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I think one guy, like I met before, he did it. So because on the iPhone you can't block ads and shit. So he did it. So it's an ad blocker and it's free. And they don't realize that because it's free. He's tracking everything they're doing that they do through his own browser.
Okay. What if these things were implemented in the campaign? So, for example, in the video that is going to be shown, or the banner that is shown in the website, if we implemented something in there, and is there any way that we knows if we drop something in the cookie, for example?
Yeah, there is like so basically, I mentioned to you before that. Jason created this system which crawls the net like in quite specific detail. So when you get maybe partial information from the person, that could be on the basis of what he sets it off to crawl and find. I mean, he can do it he can get some pretty crazy stuff, but the amount of accuracy, if it's like, say, I don't know, Tom Jones, there might be like millions of Tom Jones or something. Then you need to figure out, okay, so is it mass or quality? And then he was just to kind of figure out how to just specifically get it on a specific person. So for instance, like Facebook, it might just follow a trail from his Facebook, or I don't know. It's not entirely not possible, but it might not be as intricate as you want by just crawling surface. But you'll be surprised how much is out there that you can just crawl, or, publicly, that you don't have to go into to get.
Okay. Yeah. So this is just the combinations of survey, but Chris, the idea is if you send the surveys to one person, and then I wanted to know if this person has been exposed to a particular ads.
Yeah.
So for example, I think in website it's easy to do because if we implement this cookie, for example, in the banner, right? People who viewed this Toyota's new advertising campaigns in website, and then you drop the cookies in the browser, and then if the same if you open the survey link from the same browser, then it detects that tag from the cookie, and then you know if this person has been exposed to Toyota ads or not, right? So it's this combination of the ads itself, the cookie, and also the some kind of tag that we implement in the survey, then we will know this person is exposed to this advertising or not. It is something, and I think a lot of clients looking for the same way in the mobile phone, but mobile platform, smartphone, they have more security to it rather than the browser. So they kind of, there's a limitations to it. So I'm not sure if this is something that's doable.
I can talk to Jason about it. Maybe if it's not running from an app, but in the browser, if it's running in the browser, maybe the survey. But we'd have to explore it further.
But generally, if we're taking that much data from a user, there has to be a legitimate reason we can explain to them. Otherwise, it would be hard to sell that to other big brands and stuff, right? There's a lot of issues because, let's say Nike is using our thing to get a lot of data and do market research, and then the news goes out that we're tracking every single thing you're doing on the phone, then that's not going to look very good for their brand in the long term, right?
Yeah. So I think there's two ways. So we keep extracting those informations from the user, and then the user will get the daily or weekly incentives by just doing nothing but accepting our offer. So we keep collecting those informations and we analyze it and sell it to our clients, right? And then there's another thing is just drop some kind of tag or cookie into the website or browser or even the smartphone, and then when we reach them in the survey, then we will detect whether there's a specific tag dropped in our browser or the smartphone, and then we can distinguish this exposed sample or non-exposed sample. Right? So in the second one, then I don't think we need to incentivize because they don't have to always on or giving us the information. We just dropped something in when they're exposed to, the ads, and then when they reach out to the survey, then we will know just, they have a survey or not. Yeah. But if this can be done, then I think the Google might be interested, and then those big companies that are spending a lot of money on digital campaigns, they will definitely be interested in running some campaigns or surveys.
Makes sense. It's just how doable. I mean, if there's a way, Jason would know. So
okay. So we've got to organize a little bit more exactly what it all does, and then we can do a bit more research into how much of it we can do, right? It sounds like.
Yeah, I can probably look up the current systems or current companies that they do the similar thing in the PC browser, and whether the same thing can be done in the mobile browser. And then I'll just put more additional explanations on the PowerPoint or something and send it to you guys.
Yeah, cool. Also, I guess later, I'll discuss those things with Jason. But if we could just outline as well beforehand, if we're going to start something, we need to outline exactly what we need to do, and then what would be an MVP. and then we can kind of cost that up.
Yep.
And time-wise as well. But yeah, I'll speak to Jason about those things. Maybe he might know a way. There's a way.
Okay. Cool. Well, I was it's nice to know what you guys been doing, Chris, and then what you can do. And thanks, Daisuke, for introducing that. Oh, I will just push my idea and then see how it goes with a few things that we discussed. I think we cannot just go with the whole thing. So we have to plan it properly, and then probably you can get into what needs to be done on your end and what needs to be done on my end.
Yeah, I think once we lay out exactly what it does, the basics, and then we start plotting together what we definitely need in the MVP and what we can do later, and then we can try and figure out the pricing and the timeline based on all of that. So, and then we might be switching different specs in and out, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you can lay some basics out, and then we'll both run through it together, and then next time we can talk to Chris and his development guys, and then we can go from there, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool, man.
It's good meeting you, and cheers, Daisuke.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Then let's fix the Skype soon.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Yeah. Nice hat.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.